us to going beyond the headlines and focus on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day. We now have one death from the Banana Island building collapse. Information Commissioner Gbenga Motosho confirmed this. He also said 25 people have been rescued from the rubble so far. Motosho also said that we still don't know the exact cause of the collapse. That seems to contradict the earlier claim from Lasema that it was caused by a cement mixer ramming into a pillar. I'm going to keep you updated on this story. The more we know, the more you'll know. 1 million Lagosians listen to Hard Facts. If you're here for the first time, you're a great company because they cannot be wrong. Thank you for listening to Hard Facts. I've got a great show for you. We'll start with the big three. Let's talk about INEC pulling the Adamawa wreck and Binani going to court. Then, let's talk about the debate over raising taxes to reduce the federal deficit. And then, let's talk about a bishop charged with raping 2 subordinate pastors. Speaking of debates, at 4 o'clock, it's the second semi-final match of the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions. Deborah Pamzat and Ruth Okorocha meet to decide who faces Ramadan in the final. Oh yes, Ramadan won his semi-final match with Tamvita Kaushik yesterday. 3 points. And by God, some of the best debating I've ever heard in my life. On the big hard fact, we're going to see what happens. We'll either keep taking calls in reaction to the debate between Ruth Okorocha and Deborah Pamzat at 4, or we'll come back to the stories that we brought your way today at 3 o'clock. You know, the stories we're about to get into right now on the big three. And then, after the news at 6, Lagos, it's time for the step down. If we don't have commercials, we're going to bring you the step down. On the step down today, I want to talk about the relationship between step parents and their stepchildren. Does our society contradict itself about step parents? Are we, on the one hand, quick to call step-parents wicked? But on the other hand, when a step-parent tries to bond with the children, we're quick to accuse them of trying to steal the children from their maybe mom, maybe dad, just trying to overstep, essentially. We'll have that conversation, hopefully, at 6:15 today after the news, if there are no commercials. If there are commercials, unfortunately, we'll not be able to have a conversation. But 6:15 today, that's what we're shooting for. As usual, we'll have news updates at about the hour every hour. But let's get started with today's big three. Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Should the police also investigate other INEC officials? Should the police also investigate other INEC officials? Can the Nigerian economy afford raising taxes, and can the federal government afford not to? How can religious organizations reduce the room for abuse by clerics? Those are your big three, Lagos. Let's talk. Our first story is the Adamawa Guba election fiasco. INEC has asked the police to investigate the Adamawa wreck, Hudu Yunusa Ari, because he allegedly broke the law by declaring a winner. Under the Electoral Act and the electoral guidelines, only the returning officer can return a result. INEC took the decision at a commission meeting today. They met. The meeting was totally meant. The meeting was actually meant to hold yesterday, but the commissioners could not make it to Abuja in time because of the airport workers' strike. They finally got there by road today, and they decided that Yunusa Ari should face the law. Before I came on air, I saw a headline that they were currently in a closed-door meeting. Now, of course, the same Electoral Act and electoral guidelines also say that BVAS and IREV must be used for transmitting election results, and only results uploaded on IREV can be collated. And right now, opposition parties are accusing INEC of not following those rules in the presidential election. held during the gubernatorial election, we saw INEC staff announcing very boldly on camera, "We are not transmitting results. We are not transmitting results." We saw that happen. Meanwhile, Aisha Dahiru, aka Binani, has gone to court. She wants the High Court to force INEC to recognize Yunusa Ri's declaration that she won the poll. She's also trying to get an injunction to stop any further collation or announcements until her case is heard. But so far, INEC says that they're going to go ahead. The returning officer will soon announce a date and time for resuming collation. So let's talk. Lagos, do you agree with INEC asking the police to investigate the Adamawa wreck? And if you look back to the general elections, are there other INEC officials that you believe should be investigated? If going against the provisions of the Electoral Act and electoral guidelines is a crime, has INEC National lived up to the standard? Or does it also have questions to answer? What do you think about Binani going to court to legitimize her declaration as governor-elect? Women call me on 01465-7190, 01465-7190. Men call me on 0700-993-993-993, 01465-7190 for women. Men call me on 0700-993-993-993. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805, 080-959-75805. That's WhatsApp. Of course, we're streaming live on Facebook. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3, YouTube Nigeria Info FM, Twitter Nigeria Info FM. All the different avenues through which you can reach us. If you're abroad, call us over Skype on Nigeria Info FM. Hello, thanks for calling us. Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
It's Peter calling from Aja.
Peter from Aja, talk to me.
Yes. Sorry, I want to make a report at Aja.
You want
one area.
If you want to make a report, you have to call our newsroom, okay? All reports that you want our newsroom to pay attention to, call our newsroom directly, all right? Call our newsroom on 01465-7175, 01465-7175. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Give us a call back if you can. 99.3, hello. Hello. Thanks for calling. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, President Sandra.
Good to have you on the show, sir.
Good afternoon. This is your senior special advisor.
Welcome. Talk to me.
Thank you very much. On that lady, the men have been doing a lot of this dirty politics we play in Nigeria. How can a woman join them in doing this?
How can she not join them in doing
Hello?
this? How can she not join them in doing this?
Hello, President Sandra.
I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you. All right. It doesn't look like he can hear me. But, I mean, to respond to what he's saying, men have been doing this. How can a lady join? How can a lady not join? Are ladies not human beings? We expect women to be saints when we're not expecting men to be saints. And I don't understand why. Women are human beings, first and foremost. And human beings are both good and bad, are both sweet and not sweet, are both angels and demons. You know, there's no human being that was created and they said, oh, because you have a penis, you're automatically bad. Because you have a vagina, you're automatically good. It doesn't come with the plumbing of the human being, you know? So let's not have that conversation. 99.3, hello.
What is happening, for God's sake? Is it the network?
I don't know. You're back here.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Well, you are just trying to give a soft landing. I'm telling you, the women should toe the line of these men who are playing dirty politics.
Okay.
Women, they are mothers. They should have conscience.
So men are fathers.
Right,
so men are fathers, but shouldn't have conscience.
Well, I don't know for some of them, but I don't want the women to follow that path.
Nobody wants anybody to follow that path.
I bet, President Sandra.
I'm listening.
Please, quick one.
Mm-hmm.
The police people, not only the Adamawa own, they should investigate. They should investigate from the chairman of the election. They should investigate from that man. Even the one in Port Harcourt. They should investigate every one of them. Because this thing is getting out of hand.
Okay.
We'll be organizing an election. Start back, how many years did PDP rule? 16 years, right?
Okay.
You never get it this bad. And the painful part of it is the language that the president used, because we don't ask questions, like Dume said, and I always ask questions. The president said, I'm going to give you credible and peaceful election. Those of you who read the book, can you translate this thing? Is it credible? Is it peaceful? Just only 8 years of APC, we're having all these front and back. Over 20 people died. For God's sake, what is going on? Quick one, can I talk about the pastor who did stupid whatever with the women?
Who raped women? Yes, you can talk about it.
I think he's still in Kirikiri, right?
He's in court, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's reminded in Kirikiri, whatever. I always say to our women, please, these people are human beings before God. I used to see some of our women, how they worship these people, pastor. No, they are human beings. Look at this.
Are you really going to blame women for being raped by their pastor?
The one I see, like I said, I've been seeing some of them, the way they worship these guys. Come on, we are human beings. You have to stand your feet and get that respect for yourself.
Chris, are you really blaming the person that was raped for being raped because they respected the person that raped them?
I won't say I'm blaming them, but
That's what it sounds like to me, Chris.
No. The way they project these guys, as if they are God. No. Thank you.
All right, Chris. Thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Give us a call back if you can. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good afternoon.
What's your name, sir?
Yeah, I'm Comrade John
Comrade John, talk to me.
from Ikodu.
Good to have you on the show. Talk to me.
Yeah. If, to me, based on the issue of the Adamawa election, if that man should be investigated, apart from the Abia State woman that delivered a credible result, every other INEC should be investigated.
Okay.
That is my own stand.
All right. Thank you for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
How you doing? What's your name, ma'am?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Talk to me.
It's Chinenwa calling.
Talk to me, Chinenwa.
Mr. Chris, I salute you. See, whatever a man can do it also. Yes. And anybody that wants to investigate that INEC man will have me to contend with. Because this anomaly started on time. It's not that we don't know when it started. And we just be giving them as if we don't know what is happening. Everybody just close time. Now it has started. It has spreading like a wildfire. So if we want to start to heal to the system, we will start from where it started. Even the president, everything. There are so many things that is wrong with this the INEC conducting an election. There are so many things wrong. So we have to start from the beginning.
Okay.
That's my contribution.
Thank you, Chinenwa, for calling. Chinenwa says, let's start from the top. Okay. We've got Ozza joining us from Accra. Ozza, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Talk to me, Ozza.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about your first story, but then let me actually talk about your first caller, right?
Okay.
The most annoying thing about Nigeria, the most annoying thing is this. Hold on, I want to control my emotion. The most annoying thing about Nigeria is this our mentality of blaming victims when things happen. A young lady will be raped, and then she's telling her story. The first thing that somebody will say is, ladies should mind how they dress. I mean, somebody just called in and was saying, why should ladies respect their pastors or their priest or whatever? I mean, we are talking about someone that was raped, and we are blaming the person for respecting some other person. No matter the amount of respect the person gave to the pastor, she's now wrong about respecting the pastor, and then the pastor took advantage of that, or the bishop or whatever it is took advantage of that, and then the first thing that comes to your mind is that why should they respect their pastor? I mean, I'm an ex-seminarian, right? I was in the seminary for over 8 years. Now, we have had the situation of priests, cardinals in Rome abusing kids. Let's even forget about Rome. We have this situation even happening here in Nigeria.
Yes.
Priests abusing kids. I mean, both male and female kids.
Yes.
Now, are you going to tell me that these kids, because they respect the pastor so much or the priest so much, the priest now took advantage of them, and then you are going to blame them? What the hell are we saying? I mean, these people, this guy molested 2 ladies under him, and then you called in and you are saying why the lady is respecting. What's going on in our heads? I mean, we should stop this. Honestly, we should stop this. This is wrong, right? This is absolutely wrong. Someone did something wrong. It's just like now, election was rigged. I don't even want to talk about it. Maybe some other day we are calling it for election. I'll tell you what happened when I came back to Enugu to vote. Election was rigged, and then we are saying, why did the people that the election was rigged against, why did they fight the people that came to carry the boxes? I mean, you begin to blame the victims. This shouldn't be happening, please. We should have this mentality of whenever we hear about people that are victimized or about something, the first thing we should be is to empathize with the victims and not to begin to blame them. That's not what we should do first. Please. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you very much also for calling. Let's speak with Olutemi. Olutemi, where are you joining us from? Olutemi, where are you joining us from?
I am calling from the US.
All right. Thanks for calling. Can you turn off what you're listening on because we can hear it? Then talk to us. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, can I talk now?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I love how you replied the guy that was blaming the victim. So I don't know why men do that, like always blaming the victim. So when something happens, I don't think we should go ahead and just blame the victim.
Right.
And this is my first time calling. That's just what I want to say.
Thank you, Olutemi, for joining us from the US today, and thank you for calling in. And I agree with you that the victim of a crime is definitely not to be blamed for the crime committed onto them. Now, you're wondering what story are Ozo and Olutemi talking about. This was supposed to be our last story, but let me bring it to you now. A bishop has been charged with allegedly raping 2 of his subordinate pastors. That's our second story now. The case came up yesterday at the Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court. Daniel Oluwafeyi-Rokpo was granted bail at 20 million naira. This was actually the second arraignment hearing. The first one was on April 4th, but the accused did not show up to court. Yesterday, his lawyer explained that on the prior hearing date, the accused had a church program in Abuja, that's why he did not attend. I'm bringing up that point because I want to talk about power and influence. Because in most other criminal trials, if a defendant fails to show up, you can almost guarantee that the next time they will be arrested or they'll be denied bail. So there's a question here about whether this defendant is getting some special treatment because of his profession and his status. Is attending a church program a good enough reason to miss a criminal hearing when one is on trial? I want to know your thoughts, your opinion on that. And then I want us to use this case as a point of contact for other cases, because we don't know whether or not this bishop is guilty of this rape. We don't know. The courts will decide that. But we can safely talk about the fact that sexual abuse by religious leaders is a problem. In fact, like you heard Ozo say, this is a problem amongst different denominations, but it's also a problem with any profession where there's a lot of power imbalance. So you have lecturers and students, for example, and those types of situations. But the thing with religious institutions is that their own power is very different. In many ways, their own power is harder to check because for the followers, this person speaks for God. But at the end of the day, these are also men and women. They are flesh and blood. They have the same personalities and flaws as everybody else, which means they are equally capable of abusing power for their own ends, including sexual assault, for example. And so the question I want to ask is, how does your religious organization handle matters like that? What systems or processes, the religious organization you belong to, what systems or processes does your religious group have in place for protecting members and workers from potential abuse by clerics above them? How does your church or your mosque or your temple or your shrine against the abuse of spiritual authority? That's the conversation I want to have because, like I said, this pastor has not been convicted of rape yet. So we're using this story as a point of contact to discuss other stories. So think about it and share with me when we come back from this break. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3. This is Nigeria Info. Don't go away.
Listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Lafarge they reward him better customers there for the Lafarge buy and win promo where they share from the 10th of April to the 15th of May 2023. See, when you buy any Lafarge cement, if you find Lafarge scratch card inside, scratch am, load am, carry go. Now you get am. But if you find any other gift, just call the phone number where they the card. The gift where you find there, they go carry am go give you.
Now so, you don't hear am? You fit win microwave oven, water dispenser, fan, bag of rice, carton of noodles, recharge card, and other better things for the Lafarge buy and win promo. Check posters for more to you. Terms and conditions they shall.
Lafarge, building progress.
Aha, whether na cash or transfer, money na money. One contact in case to money na money. If cash not there to transfer, use ATM, USSD, POS, QR code. You fit use Inara, money na money. Case closed. Whether you dey buy yourself, money na money. Once the other person don't collect transaction complete, case closed.
As Central Bank of Nigeria don't announce change of currency, make we no panic oh. Whether you want pay or you dey collect money, different options full ground oh. In case cash no dey available, you fit use mobile app, internet banking, ATM, POS, USSD, QR code, e-Naira and others dem take do your transaction. And if you no get bank account, visit your bank, make them open am for you. Make you no panic oh. Last, all of us go dey alright. This message now from Bankers Committee.
Ruth Okorocha is the champion from March 2022. She beat Deborah Pamsat in an epic final. Now they meet again with a shot at being champion of champions on the line. Will Deborah Pamsat get her payback? Will Ruth Okorocha repeat history? Find out on Tuesday in the semi-final of the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions. 4 p.m. on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM and the next day at 3:30 p.m. on Wazobia Max TV.
I'm from Lafarge. I beg, sign for here.
Wetin you dey look for there? I dey look whether me sef get delivery. You don look inside the bags of Lafarge cement wey you buy? Inside the bag? Yes na. Lafarge dey reward him better customers there for the Lafarge buy and win promo wey dey share from the 10th of April to the 15th of May 2023. See, when you buy any Lafarge cement, if you find Lafarge scratch card inside, scratch am, load am, carry go. Now you get am. But if you find any other gift, just call the phone number wey dey the card. The gift wey you find there, they go carry am go give you.
Now so, you don't hear am? You fit win microwave oven, water dispenser, fan, bag of rice, carton of noodles, recharge card, and other better things for the Lafarge buy and win promo. Check posters for more to you. Terms and conditions they shall.
Lafarge, building progress.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Our numbers are 0700-993-993-993. That's for men. Women call us on 0701-465-7190. We've got WhatsApp 080-959-75805. 99.3. Hello. Hello. Is anyone there? All right, 99.3.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, CJ Colin. I want to comment about these religious leaders raping their members.
Talk to me.
Yes, quick one. You see, I was arguing with somebody some weeks ago that today, if you go to some religious organization, once you pick up the mic and say, praise the Lord, and the church members say amen, they make you a pastor, which is unfortunate.
Okay.
Without passing through the rudiments, know the person's background history, if it's actually called by God.
Okay.
If we read the book of Matthew chapter 19, verse 12, Jesus said that some were born Enoch, some men make them Enoch. Some became Enoch for the sake of the kingdom, which means that Enoch means castration. Jesus is not saying that you should go and castrate yourself. It means it is a grace that your sexual urge is dead. Even let a woman appear before you. Apostle Paul was that kind of person. Let a woman appear before you. You don't have that urge at all. So women are like that. So if you don't have that grace, never you attempt to claim that you want to become a pastor. Otherwise, when a woman comes, they set the trap for you, will fall into it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Interesting that in this part of the story, we're still finding a way to make women the villains in the story. We're still trying to find a way to blame women for this situation. Interesting. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra. How are you?
I'm very well. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Alex.
Talk to me, Alex.
Sandra, I would have, I don't want to say shame on that person, let's just respect, for whatever reason, let me just accord him his respect, okay? But let me just point out something. It's not only women that get raped. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
It's not only women that respect their pastors
Yeah.
or who they perceive to be men of God.
Yeah.
It is not only women that suffer the trauma of being raped.
Yeah.
All of this is an allegation, okay? But think of it this way: if you cannot protect the women, then you cannot be given the responsibility to protect society, because women are part of the society. I will not do too much of the preaching on that one, because I was totally taken aback by that caller.
Yeah.
Let's focus a little bit on the issue of Adamawa.
Right.
Sandra, did you see the letter?
Yes.
That was addressed to the man, the suspension letter.
I did.
The second paragraph, where it was saying, please accept the assurances of the Commission's warm regards. That blew my brains out. You are literally, it sounded to me like a commendation letter for a job well done. Look at the second part. It's an embarrassment of our country. You see, I pray, Sandra, that we get to a point in this country where public officers understand that when you are signing a document as somebody who holds the authority and power of the government, right? There is a different level of moral expectation from you. Sandra, I don't know of you. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand what you're trying to say.
You have to come with a consciousness that there is a totally different from the one that the pedestrians in the streets have. You have to understand that your job as somebody who is signing on behalf of the Federal Republic is a completely different one. I pray that the next administration has a way to build it, indoctrinate our public officers to understand that they are not ordinary people anymore. Because a single signing of a letter can destroy the lives of, so many people. Right. So you're not just an ordinary person sitting at the back of sitting at the back of a desk in a small scale factory.
Right.
Do you know, Sandra, that 8 weeks ago we were still a sane society? Think about it. Just 8 weeks ago, it looks like things were going well. You were still trying to convince people, Sandra.
I was.
To come out just 8 weeks ago. Look at how a country has just totally imploded in a case of just 8 weeks or less than 8 weeks. Thank God for social media. Thank God for technology, Sandra. If you continue on this trajectory, right? Elections are going to get even much more horrible and much more embarrassing. But I pray that we sort it out this cycle.
Alex, thanks for calling. We've got Abiola Ogunwemimo on the line. Abiola, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you. Let me quickly. I want to ask you. I met the discussion midway.
Okay.
The rape issue. The women that were involved. Did the rape go on as in maybe twice, thrice,
What
like
does
that, or
what,
it's just once, one.
what does it matter?
Now, what matter is that if the man of God involved rape one, I don't think he should go ahead in doing it on the same person second time, third time, or on the other person. That's what we talk about when.
I'm trying to follow your line of thought here. Hmm?
Okay, are you me?
I'm not. Okay.
I heard somebody let's say on the same thing happened to him. I
and so minds bringing out and sort of the who are victims of multiple rapes. There are people who are raped by rescue. It's not strange. More often than not, you have help. And those have help keep quiet. They don't blame them for trying to seduce their organs. How comes and rape them of their organs. When someone claim they've been raped, you can say it happen once. I'm trying to understand. Well, what's going on? Because showing me what of course. Again, the pastor is still allegation at this time. There's proof with using the story to look at what happened in the situation. Let's look at the things that we have here. Sahai is on site D is for now. Our is Nigerian. That's Nigerian. Check out on site. Only one people who are wrong. This is the product says it said that children should be better than what's happened in the case of the election. The record copy from the INEC proved while on 24 should not be made to be guilty of breaking the law and has grounds to get more rich. He should be handled. Alright. With one that was premeditated. As you can see, when court of duty on taking the will, the from the happens the night is a criminal mind politician. Okay, the course favor these alternatives. What was going with Princeton? He made proposals to several complaints on Sunday. Now, if it was right, as you may found guilty on the law, he's done thereafter. Anyhow, now you didn't even know it. Guys, listen here from INEC have I'm trying to establish so that what we are is investigating those things that are hurry me out of what you want to say. So from she says in a country once the rape or reason or potential is proved what program never for showing court privacy always when it comes to presence area. We got a message here on Sunday was present INEC not just put establishments who others are learning. They should dismiss it and ban wrong from his out so that the money paid will be not that alone but just comedians in this country. Program be more important than what parents usually from root. Like come back to phone lines talk to people in this and we will our final three. Nice to hear. You will take
Yeah, I think they how corrupt and how corrupt absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah, so me, I will not be just when I'm looking for somebody or we have to respect ourselves. So that's what I'm like. You see, I usually tell my friends to beat it. If I'm not, I get or I let now. Please, how can you find if you so one of your leaders you have to run what is called a parallel. Tell for them, you'll be beaten to the house.
Going for our final story now is a raging debate going on towards Saturday. But government is ready to fully stop about this particular thing. We're talking about it over 5 years. That's why we're talking about a lot. Every year to general spot and to pay back at debt to use future revenue. That means they have less revenue. And that means they have for at that time, the government will mobilize the military did not federalize the box in 1999. Most of the money had well wait the escape problem was because of set for defense. And then we were ready. So well, we were 2006, but yeah, the world's ready to give up debt, and he said they are vital country to increase and less. The latest body gives the IMF. Usually the IMF will run, but IMF is telling us before you come and borrow us again, try to tax to raise the money that you need. So Mary and so this. We've now heard from Nigerian employer called the business owners, Adamawa of NAR. And he said, quote, for a private sector of the masses, imposition of made business committee for the trade of road aviation in an environment of opportunities, provide services and infrastructure should be provided by the best government could do is support and ease their burden rather than considering plus to their pay for its influence. It is not ever a condition from government that should invite during the clarity of constitutional such will be implemented. The emphasis always position when the conversation about taxing is vast. Struggle that taxing not encompasses more public funds for better decision, for exiting the environment with rising inflation of the decision. This, of course, will weaken the individual and staff options for social cohesion. Trees tend to reduce taxes during income to increase the same during boom. Unfortunately, not Asian. An attempt to consider tax hack burdens on taxpayers made the attempt to buy tax break. And the taxpayers would conduct avoidance measures, self-light, and draft report version fitted. And I should do the work of the Nigerian Cultivar Association. So they're saying that while we have new raising taxes come at material cost for the means. And finally, last topic for the final, things they clear answer to the problem. Something is gained and something is lost. But you think, should government raise taxes across the economy and business community, or should government keep borrowing at the cost of poor default and an inability to do its job? I'll consider making this a topic for the final. 0700-993-993-993. Lagos, let's talk. 01465-7190. Speaking of finals, at 4 o'clock, we have our second semi-final match between Ruth Okorocha and Deborah Pamzat. Ruth Okorocha and Deborah Pamzat, coincidentally, are the finalists, or were the finalists, during the March 2022 edition. Ruth won that tournament while facing Deborah Pamzat. So this is a rematch, revenge for Deborah Pamzat, payback for Deborah Pamzat, but also an opportunity for Ruth Okorocha to prove that she won before and she can win again. So it's going to be great. 4 p.m. Don't miss it. Right now, let's talk on 01465-7190. That's for women. Men, call us on 0700-993-993. Hello. 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 All right. Doesn't look like that person is ready. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Please, just forgive me. Sandra, you've been too much in that studio. And I'm expecting today to be one of the best about the debate. But please, by the way, I just want to find out, Sankore and Abed, these guys have been contributing so much to your studio bit. I don't have them again. What happened?
Okay, so first of all, you're calling our number for women. Second of all, your radio is loud, so it's making it difficult to hear what you're trying to say. And third of all, Abo doesn't work with us anymore. He's left the country. Sankari has taken a bit of a sabbatical. He'll be back soon, hopefully. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
How you doing? What's your name, ma'am?
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Talk to me.
About the taxes. They should not increase the taxes.
Okay.
Because what they have been borrowing since, we are not seeing what they are using it for. Most of the money is going inside their pocket and their accounts.
Okay.
Let all of them that have been ruling this country since all these years begin to bring the money. Let them begin to bring those money out and pay back if they are owing. So for them to begin to increase the suffering of Nigeria is not fair at all. And fuel on is coming also. Did they want to even keep people in this country? It's not fair now, Sandra. Again, I want to talk about the bishop. How can you have a case, you say you have program? It's not fair now. Me, I'm a Christian. And what gives some of these pastors backup or help is because they make a friend with all those big politicians.
Okay.
If not, he will not make excuse that he have program that he cannot attend the court. That one is not acceptable.
Okay.
Let me tell you one thing.
What?
When I was going to church, I'm like youth. The pastor there, he began to sleep from one choir to choir. That thing brought the church down. But those days now, they will just take those things as normal things. But now, let them begin to pay for their sin. This sin is too much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for calling us, Joy. Let's take a look at messages we have on WhatsApp. We'll just read these messages and then we'll go on a break and get ready for I Beg to Differ. Kylie on Christmas in Canada says, Sandra, what is wrong. You don't use that to justify anything more. For the election shenanigans in Adamawa, I don't blame the rec because as usual, nobody is held accountable for their actions. I'm really disappointed at the level of our government officials taking something serious as child's play. For the tax issue, it's not going to be an easy getaway, especially with the inflation raging in the world now. Raising taxes or not is not going to be an easy one for the country. Thank you very much for your message. We've got, I guess the IMF is just tired of lending Nigeria money and wants to do it in a way that won't raise eyebrows if taxes are raised. The same will still happen, so it's just more money for the politicians. I refuse for the taxes to be increased. All right. Thanks for your message. This one here says, I don't have a problem with increment of taxes because taxes all over the world is high and gets increased periodically. But the problem in Nigeria's taxing is that the taxes are not accounted for. The taxes end up in the pockets of few individuals, which is a crime bigger than what INEC is doing right now. All over the world where taxes are high, but the citizens get dividends in their everyday lives. It's a pity that the increased taxes will not increase the social lives of Nigerians. All right. Tunde from Tulere says, rather than increasing taxes to raise funds, government should be more concerned in widening the tax net net to capture the informal sector, which is widely untapped. They should also cut spending on frivolities and unnecessary overheads and channel such funds to more productive uses to boost business and investments. Raising taxes at this period will only increase suffering, unemployment, low productivity, and contract the economy further. At a time of recession, governments think of ways to expand the economy, not constrain it. But you see, Tunde, that's the interesting thing. I had a conversation with a data organization one time, SBM Intelligence, and SBM Intelligence says to me that the informal sector actually pays an insane amount of taxes. So Lagos, the informal sector are those who are not working in formal organizations. So they're not working in an office like me or like you. So they have businesses, they perhaps work for businesses. So you have the woman who has set up her SME, her MSME, you know, she's selling tomato in the market, or she's selling rods, you know, she's selling cement, or she's working at a petrol station, or she's a vulcanizer. So those types of people are people in the informal sector. But you find that they are very heavily taxed. The taxes just don't end up in a centralized place. And so we say over and over and over that the informal sector isn't getting taxed. They are overtaxed even. Some researchers will tell you that they're even more taxed than those of us who are in the formal sector. But yeah, it's a big debate. There's a lot to talk about in there. But I wonder if it's big enough for our final for I Beg to Differ. I don't know. I'm going to have to go and debate it with our judges and then we'll see. But yeah, we have to take a break. When we come back from this break, it will be semi-finals between Deborah Pamzat and Ruth Okorocha right here on your number one station for talk. You're listening to Hard Facts and I am Sandra Ezekwesili. Lagos, don't go away.
Stay one step ahead with the latest news and trending conversations here on 99.3